Welcome to Town Talk, the official podcast of Summerville, South Carolina, where we bring you the latest news and incredible guests here in Summerville. And we took a little hiatus, y'all. We took a couple months to kind of set up season 3, set up some guests as we go back into the podcast. But we are back. And as always, and we said this last time, every time we start a season, we want to bring the mayor in. And so today we got Mayor Russ Touchberry with me. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be back here and sharing with all of you.
Listen, the mayor and I, we do cruising with the mayor. We're always on camera. So, we're always having conversations. So this should be relatively easy.
I would think so.
But, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about some of the stuff that happened last year, 2025, but just go into, we're in March of 26 already, which is crazy to think about. But just talking about this year and the state of the town and where we're at. But how was your weekend? Do you have a good weekend?
We had a great weekend. My son, as you know, is a swimmer, and we spent the weekend in Atlanta for what's called the Best of the South swim meet. It was a lot of fun, a lot of swimming.
Yeah.
And we're proud of our son. He did really well. And, he has big goals, so he's harder on himself. Yeah. But as parents, we just love to watch him compete and work hard. And it was a great weekend.
I love that. It's so cool. So what's his big goal?
So, he wants to swim in college, D1 level, and has some opportunities to do that.
Let's go. That's awesome.
We're really excited for him. But YMCA Nationals is coming up in a few weeks, and that's where he really wants to kind of peak at his performance. And he's going to taper here in the coming weeks and really try to set himself up for some big personal bests.
That's really
at
cool.
YMCA Nationals.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. If you're watching, congratulations. You got the town rooting for you. Okay, cool. Yeah, my weekend, we were talking about a little bit off camera, but went to go see Hoppers. Totally recommend. I took my 4-year-old, well, she's about to turn 4, and it was her first movie experience. She's never been to a movie, which was, it's hard when 2 years old. They're just, she sat there the whole time. It was like asking questions. She did not want to sit down. She wanted to stand and watch it while eating the popcorn. Had to make sure to get her gummy worms too. And she was just asking questions. Then she randomly, halfway through the movie, Mr. Mayor, looked at me and said, "Daddy, is this the movie theater?" What? Yes, sweetheart. This is the movie theater. Asked about 4 more times, but But yeah, I had it was a pretty decent weekend.
What a great core memory to make.
I know.
It's perfect to be with your daughter and do that. That's awesome.
I know. We went to the movie theater right here in town too, so it was a good time. So let's dig into last year a little bit, 2025. We won't spend too much time on it.
Right.
But we had some great things happen in 2025. But a lot of things also leading into what we got going on this year. For what you can remember, talking about 2025, what are some of the big things that you took away from that year?
2025 was a really productive year. As you know, the town over the last several years has really been strengthening its financial foundation.
Yeah.
Our finance director, Rhonda Moore, Scott Slatton, our town administrator, and the council has really done a great job of putting us on solid financial footing and planning better for the future. I think last year's budget process went extremely well. And as we've already initiated this year's budget process, and I'm sure we'll talk more about that to come, but we've really been positioning ourselves and looking forward and planning for the future better financially. And I think that eliminates some of those reasonably foreseen circumstances and helps us be more predictable and sustainable in the future, which is good for a community like ours. And again, last year, we did not have any need to raise the tax millage rate, which is extremely important for us. We want to hold the tax millage rate where it is, if at all possible. And we've been successful at doing that. And I think that's serves our citizens well. We want to be good stewards of the taxpayer money at the end of the day. I believe we're doing that for our community. And it's a testament to town staff as well as our council. So I'm grateful for that. Also last year, this may seem small, but something like the Central Avenue Sidewalk project
Yeah.
was opened up for our community. That's a project that was, previously designed, permitted, and put on a shelf. And we were able to push ourselves forward and get that project open for our community so that we have a safer, more pedestrian-friendly environment.
Yep.
And it ties in not only to this current project, but it ties into future projects that are going to be coming from the transportation sales tax program, like the improvements on Parsons, the improvements on North Maple Street that are going to be opening here soon, as well as Central Avenue, and it just ties our community together. Of course, one of the bigger things when we talk about the future of our town is having that vision planning process that we undertook last year. The county, Dorchester County, the Chamber of Commerce, and the town worked together with a huge effort to really get from the citizens a sense of what they want for their community.
Yeah.
This is the community's vision plan, and there were over 3,000 folks who submitted survey results,
which is a great number.
Yes.
Which is a great number when you look at an average of like the number of citizens that we have versus an average of just like other surveys that are taken for the similar situation and the numbers that we get. This was a huge jump compared to some comparisons out there in other municipalities or areas. So that was really awesome to see that many responses.
Very significant feedback, but I think it shows how engaged our community members are,
100%.
which I'm grateful for.
100%.
We had focus groups that had over 100 different participants in focus groups, as well as a steering committee of about 30 diversified folks from throughout the community, all participating in what has become the vision plan. And now they are working on strategic action items to come out of that, so that people like us, the elected leaders, the leaders at the town, we kind of have a pathway of how to deliver this vision for our community members.
Yeah.
And as we go through the budgeting process, we can use the framework of that vision to help filter through our decisions to make sure that we're spending our time and our treasure in line with what the community wants from us. I think it's like a mandate for us.
Yeah.
And all of that was accomplished last year, and so many more things. But if you just want me to hit the surface, that's it. I mean, we lean forward on a lot of other projects, the Municipal Public Safety Complex, which more to come on that.
Yeah.
We talked last time, it was basically a year ago, you and I were sitting here talking about what are we excited about for the coming year. We said the Inner Four project.
Yeah.
We'll have an update on that. We've worked incredibly hard with some of our partners to be able to influence what happens on the old lumber mill site.
Yep.
It's been a busy year, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it has been very busy. And just to add in, I mean, the events that we had that Parks and Rec put on, and even just community events as a whole, awesome job. We had some incredible events, incredible turnout as well. And all of those events. We also had Berlin G. Meyer.
Berlin G. Meyer's opened up, in March of last year.
Yeah.
1 year ago.
1 year ago. So we had that happen last year too, which was super exciting.
Yeah.
And
Chris, that project was ahead of schedule and under budget. So kudos to the project team and SCDOT.
Absolutely.
Banks Construction.
Absolutely.
They did fantastic.
Yeah.
And everybody has seen a reduction of traffic on Main Street, South Main Street, because people are using Berlin Myers.
Yeah.
So it's safer in our community.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're finally able to get that done, and a year in, we're seeing the benefits of it as well. But as a town, we're busy, right? We got so much going on. You brought up the vision plan. You brought up the public safety campus. You brought up a couple other things, the Interfor site as well. There's a lot of exciting things coming on. We talk about the vision plan for a second. In the most recent budget meeting, if you guys want to tune in, was live streamed, so you guys can check that out. But we did have the chamber come and present kind of what to expect from the vision plan, and it's really exciting. And I think we have the leadership in place. We have a very engaged community that we can look at this vision plan and use it and take advantage of it, right?
Correct.
Because we see, I mean, we're in this. We're in the municipality world, local government world, and if you compare it, you can see a ton of municipalities all over the country do something similar and then never do anything with it.
Right.
And
That would be so disappointing.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt in my mind that that's not going to be the case for us.
Yeah.
Not only that, we said that from the jump. You have said that. Other council members have said that. Leadership has said that if we do this, we're gonna do it. And that, I think, is really reassuring to staff members and to community members and everything like that, because, you know, I think something that plans for our vision and our future and strategically with the voice of the community is something we should follow. You know?
Chris, you hit the nail on the head. If we went through that effort and engaged our citizens and then put that on the shelf, how much confidence would they have that we actually value their input?
None.
We say all the time, we want to hear from you, but if we don't listen and actually apply what we learn, we're going to erode public trust. And that works directly against what you and I try to do through transparency and communicating with our members, our citizens.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, when it comes to transparency and communication, we have been busy as a town to build that up, right? That's an all-person effort. That's our elected officials, that's leadership, that's me. And there's a ton of different ways we've done that, whether that's Good Morning Somerville or Cruising with the Mayor.
By the way, and I'm not going to let, go too far on this, but Chris, your Good Morning Somerville has gotten a lot of traction, man.
Yeah, it has.
People talk to me all the time. Hey, who's the Good Morning Somerville guy? I'm like, that's Chris Mikowski.
Yeah.
That's our public information officer. You've reached a lot of people with that. So I'm grateful for you. What a great way to connect with our community, share a little bit about what's going on, but also talk about some of the things happening in our town that are so awesome. So great job.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it. We, there's no better way to reach the community than to be where they're at. And, I won't get too deep into marketing and communication strategy, but, short form video, we're all on Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, TikTok, and those short form video where you can kind of just gauge in. And, I actually really haven't talked about this. So this would be good for the podcast. The idea came in June last year, or I think June, and it really was, I woke up one morning and I saw Good Morning America. And I never watched Good Morning America. Nothing against Good Morning America. I'm too busy in the morning. But I watched and I was like, Good Morning Somerville. Okay. Well, my brain started moving and like my creativity juices started flowing. I was thinking about it. I came in the office and I went to Scott, the town administrator. I said, I have this idea. I said, it's very ambitious. I might end up making myself extremely tired by doing this, but I think we should do a daily series, Good Morning Somerville, every morning, post it on social media. And he's like, I trust you. Go ahead. And I was like, oh gosh, here we go. So the first one started sitting at my desk, and then we moved on and grew it. We're continuing to grow it. So it's funny, I was out at Sullivan's Island with my family, and I was coming back from the beach, and there was this couple sitting in. And if you guys are watching this, I don't know, I haven't seen you guys since. But if you're watching this, reach out, because I would love to just like give you a little like merch or something like. But there's this couple sitting in a truck, and they were just like staring at me like awkwardly, and I felt a little nervous. I was like, I have my daughter with me. I was like, all right, do I need to, what's going on here? And they were staring at me, and then the guy rolled down the window. He's like, are you from Somerville? I said, yeah. What's up? He said, Good Morning Somerville, like just outside of his truck in Sullivan's Island. I was like, this is reached. But I appreciate the kind words. And if you're not familiar, every morning, sometimes weekends, usually not weekends, we do a 1 to 2 minute video on our social medias, basically talking about the day. some special announcements. Sometimes we have nothing to say, so we just have a good conversation, maybe laugh a little bit,
That's right.
and showcase some of the different aspects of town. But we talk about transparency, and that's an important thing for us here at the town. I really do believe we lead the way, and that not everything can be good news.
Correct.
There's going to be bad news that happens. I mean, we've had some tragic situations happen earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
We've had tragic situations in the past. We can't always push out good news. But the thing about it is if we can just make sure that our community, y'all, can trust us, and that we are going to communicate with you guys, and that we're going to give you the darn truth, with the
good, the bad,
the good,
and
the
the
bad,
ugly.
and the ugly. We will. And sometimes, because of investigations, we can't push something out immediately. But we're very transparent, and I'm very proud of that. And that is kudos to all, to the community members for jumping in on it, to elected officials, to leadership, and to department heads as well. But I just want to touch base on, because I agree. We talk about some of the other projects coming up. I actually just got back from the Somerville Safety Campus.
Okay.
Our public safety campus, and they started, demolishing the building.
All right.
So that's super exciting. How does that feel for you?
No, it's great, Chris. This is something that was identified as a need over a decade ago.
Yeah.
Well over a decade ago, because the courts were squeezed out of that facility. They used to be housed in that facility. They were squeezed out of that facility well over a decade ago. It was studied multiple times, and every time a space needs analysis was conducted, we didn't have adequate space, and they came up with a plan, and then it cost too much money from somebody's perception at the time to do what needed to be done. And that happened a couple different times.
Yep.
And then when former Mayor Waring was in office, he put an ad hoc committee together to take a look at our space needs analysis from the past, make an evaluation of our public safety campus, and then bring recommendations to council. Well, through that process, I had the opportunity to be on that committee. And when I toured the facility over there, I was ashamed. I was ashamed that our town didn't have a space that was reflective of our public safety professionals' excellence and professionalism. It didn't have adequate space for them to do their jobs well.
Yeah.
And they were doing it anyway. We talk about the changes over the course of time in public safety. We now have, obviously, female firefighters. Well, back then, Fire Station 1 wasn't really developed with that in mind.
Yeah.
So we had really inadequate facilities
100%.
on every front, from a professional standpoint, from a technology standpoint, from evidence storage and ventilation system. Every step of the way, not just square footage, but in every aspect, we needed an upgrade. And so council, to its credit, leaned forward and said, let's get it done this time.
Yeah.
And we've continued to look at ways to get it done. Staff has met us head on with trying to make sure that, first of all, we do it right. We plan for the future, but we also have to be very cost conscious, okay? And be good stewards of the resources given to us. And I believe we've taken an approach. Now, is it expensive? Absolutely. If we had done it 10 years ago when we kind of knew we needed to do it, it would probably been half price. But to do it right, it costs a lot of money. But at the same time, we have found a way to do it. Kudos to our staff for developing a way to finance it, to pay for it in what is somewhat like a lease to own standpoint, so that it's not a whole lot of money up front out of our coffers, and we don't have to raise taxes to pay this back based on our plan, which is fantastic. So demo's beginning. I understand that by the end of next year, our folks should be moving in to this new public safety complex where they can do their jobs well. From a recruitment and retention standpoint, I think we're going to have, I believe we already have the best professionals in the region, but
it just adds to it.
we have the opportunity to retain those folks and maybe build on what we have to make sure that our citizens are served with excellence, because that's what they expect from us. And public safety is, at the end of the day, the foundational, from my perspective, the foundation of municipal government is public safety.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we do hope, that this does retain more, because we're not the only growing area, municipality in the area, right? I am maybe a little biased. I think Somerville's the best, but
of course we
are competing against other fire departments, not even just in the Tri-County, but the whole state.
Correct.
Or even our neighboring states, right?
Yeah.
And so we have to look at that, and it's kind of hard to go look at the old facility now. But if you did and you saw it, it really was just not where it needed to be. It was way behind, and we're growing so fast that we have to keep up with that. Now, one of the things I hear a lot, and this is why I love the podcast, we can have some challenging questions.
Okay, fire away.
Is a lot of people are concerned about, the best use of taxpayers' money, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to this public safety campus and combining that to that question, because I hear it sometimes of like, they're using our taxpayers' money on the public safety campus. Yes, I mean, obviously, as a taxpayer, you are funding, our public safety. But can you talk a little bit about the importance of that kind of gap, bridging that question, and then the public safety?
It's a great question, because, as you know, construction costs a lot right now.
A lot.
This campus, which houses police headquarters, fire headquarters, fire station 1, and municipal court, plus a parking garage, so that we could keep everything on the same site, not have to buy a new piece of property or use different property. We're putting everything on the existing site. That's going to cost about $60 million. That's a lot of money. However, if you look at what it would cost and you look at the studies, we are taking the most cost-effective approach to do it all now. We're going to have it designed so that we can add on at a later date in a cost-effective way. So we don't have to add an entirely new structure. We can build off the existing structure. And it is projected to serve us for 20 plus years as it is built. So from my standpoint, we are taking the most cost-effective approach. While it's a big number today, 25 years from now, that's not going to be the case. People are going to be grateful that we did what was difficult today to plan for the future. And I think the fact that we are able to do it in kind of that lease to own scenario, I think is going to be great for us. We're able to cash flow it, pay it back, and take care of our public safety professionals by the end of next year. They'll be moving in. It's really a great scenario.
Weather permitting.
Weather permitting.
If a hurricane comes through,
Oh my gosh! Knock on wood.
But I have to just say that.
Let's hope we don't have one of those this year.
But no, I completely agree. But on top of that, what people seem to forget, and that's something that we by the way, there is a SomervillePublicSafety.com or SomervilleSafetyCampus.com is going to be the URL that you could go to now. There's a sign-up sheet. We're actually going to be releasing a website for this project that has a ton of good information. And so it's going to have the information I'm about to speak on.
That helps with transparency and accountability, which is that we work for the citizens. The citizens need to know what's going on.
Exactly. And so that will be regularly updated. Definitely check that out. But some of the stuff that I'm about to touch on is going to be on that website. But really, in a nutshell, a new facility also enhances services for our community. Okay. you're bringing so much more to a community. You're able to provide better services for a community when you have the home base to do what you need to do. Even on top of that, there is a community room in there that can be used for multi-purpose. There is going to be an enhanced press room, right? Where if there is we need to do a press conference for something, that we can effectively give the press what they need to cover the town and not be so makeshift. That's huge. At least for me, it is. And on top of that, you're giving, better facilities for, our officers to do what they need to do. Or when you look at housing some of the stuff that they may collect on a scene that they have to keep and investigate, it's just going to be way better. On top of that, the building's going to house the drone as first responder.
Yes.
That is a thing that we're actually launching before. We actually are launching now.
Yeah.
But the facility is going to be able to actually house that on the roof of the facility. And so, and be able to maintain it better. Like right now, it's going to take a little extra steps and stuff. But there's just so many positive things, and then also sets us up for the future and growth and staying compliant with where we're at as a society. More female officers, more female firefighters, being more accessible in certain different things as well. That's super important, right?
Chris, you're hitting the nail on the head. The bottom line is results for our community members. We are the 7th largest municipality in the state out of 270 plus or minus municipalities.
Yeah.
And I believe we're starting to operate like that. And we need to be thinking like that. Our citizens expect when a crime is committed that our folks are on the scene quickly, that they are prepared, and that they bring safety and stability to any situation almost instantaneously. That drone program is going to help with that. It's going to help with criminal investigation. We're going to have eyes on the ground there faster than we ever have before, collecting data, preparing.
Faster than anyone in the state. Just
Correct.
Put that out
Yeah,
there.
well done. But it's for the purpose of having the results.
Yeah.
If you want to commit a crime, you're going to want to go somewhere else, because here we're going to nail you. We're going to have the information. And in a situation where our citizens need emergency support services, we're going to have an idea of how to prepare before we get there, so that our folks hit the ground ready to help you as fast as possible. That's just taking care of our community members and bringing the results they expect from us.
Absolutely. And we are going to have an upcoming episode on the podcast that deep dives into the drone program.
Right.
Specifically, the DFR, Drone as First Responder, is the first police department to have it, and the second fire department. Ours are combined, but we are the first police department in the state to have this. So we'll go deep dive into that in a future episode. But in a nutshell, it is an incredible tool that is going to save a lot of lives, and is going to allow us to save homes, save so many people, find people. For example, someone kind of runs away from their home, we most likely will be able to find them, compared to, and on top of that, the topic that's not talked about, and we'll dig deep into that in the future episode, is the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars we are saving our taxpayers by using a drone versus a helicopter.
Oh, gosh.
And first,
Yes.
the time spent for officers and investigators and everything like that, or destruction of stuff or equipment. I'm talking thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars we're saving our taxpayers by using this. So it's really exciting. Keep an eye out for that. We'll definitely push that out as that episode comes. The public safety campus is extremely exciting. And we talked a little bit about the vision plan as well. But we also have the Interfor site. You touched base on that, and that has been progressing. And so where are we with that?
So Inter4 is selling the 60 plus or minus acres of the old lumber mill where Highway 78, North Maple Street, and Richardson all come together. It used to be a Westvaco lumber mill. Now it's Inter4. They're selling that site. We did not, of course, want it to become an industrial site. We worked with a lot of folks with our county partners, Dorchester County Economic Development, and worked to shape, not to block, but to try to cast a better vision for there than an industrial site. You know, it is on the railroad track, so if we had an industrial site using the railroad, that's more train stops. Industrial sites bring noise, potential pollution, as well as a lot of trucks. We didn't necessarily want that. This is kind of a beautiful gateway. It's adjacent to an historic neighborhood. The Brownsville community is right there. And this is an opportunity to kind of create a gateway, mixed use redevelopment. And we're very excited that River Development is negotiating with Inter4 at this time and will likely be working on due diligence for a mixed use development on that site that will have commercial, retail, restaurants, as well as some residential opportunities. And they've even, embraced the idea that the county and the town have had of having a significant public use as a part of this.
Amazing.
What they've embraced is an indoor recreation complex. And because they've embraced that, we're working on a feasibility study right now just to prove that, number one, that makes sense for our community. Number two, there's a demand for it. And number three, it's going to be financially viable before we invest any money into that. But as it stands right now, our partners at Somerville Dream, Dorchester County, and the town of Somerville are all working together to try to shape this redevelopment, the 60 acres of redevelopment, and make sure that it honors Somerville's past, but provides great opportunity for our citizens to live, work, and play and do awesome things right here in the town of Somerville. And it's going to be a beautiful gateway feature as you come in off exit 197, or if you're coming in from 78. And I just think we're a year from our last discussion, and it was the thing I was most excited for last year.
It was, yeah.
And this year, I am equally as excited to continue to advance this for our community and work with our partners and River Development as the entity who's looking to buy the property. So as it unfolds over the course of the year, please keep your ears open. We'll be sharing things
we will.
As changes happen, but the due diligence period will take the majority of this year. So this will be something we'll be talking about next year as well.
It'll be on the podcast episode next year.
But another project we talked about last year, the Main Street Resiliency Project.
Absolutely, I was going to bring that up.
Oh, okay.
But
sorry, I don't want to steal your thunder.
No, you're good. Let's dig into Main Street Resiliency.
I was just thinking about the projects that we talked about last year. Main Street Resiliency Project, to bring you back up to speed, is the section of North Main Street from the railroad tracks to Highway 78. Those 5 blocks. That's been a town undertaking. That was originally a concept that was developed, and our council and staff decided to lean forward and get this done. It takes the utilities and puts them underground, makes it more walkable, gives it that downtown business district feel for those 5 blocks. Street lighting, wider sidewalks, better crosswalks, better conditions for our pedestrians, so that it creates an environment where our businesses can be successful along that corridor. And it would really reflect the excellence of Somerville for those first 5 blocks. As you know, the county building at 500 North Main, they have some redevelopment plans on 500 North Main that are moving forward. A part of that is a huge welcome park, about the same size as Hutchison Square, where the Veterans Memorial and a nice public welcome park is going to be. I am excited that this Main Street Resiliency Project will tie you where you can safely walk in a beautiful, safe way from 500 North Main to Hutchison Square, connecting this business district. I'm really excited for it. As you know, we had our first public information meeting in January.
January, yeah.
January, and the public comment period extended through a portion of February.
Yep.
That included not only our Main Street Resiliency Project on the north end, but the county transportation sales taxes portion from the railroad tracks to 5 Points.
Yep.
I think we've gotten a lot of feedback on this.
Great feedback from what I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, I have personally received a lot of feedback. I think the scope from the what was proposed on the southern end on the transportation sales tax is going to change somewhat based on the feedback. I haven't seen the final results, but from what I heard, and I think there's a lot of support for the Main Street Resiliency Project. So I think we're going to be moving forward on Main Street Resiliency. We'll have some scope changes on the southern end, but our downtown, I just get excited when I think about bringing excellence and reflecting the excellence of Summerville throughout our downtown.
Agree. And a way that if we can extend our downtown, extend Hutchinson Square, I mean, that's a win for our business community, for our community as a whole. I think anything that provides more walkability is extremely important as well. But, you know, we said that, I mean, I've said this on the podcast before, but we're one of the, besides, you know, Charleston, really, unless you go to Monk's Corner, we're the only one with a genuine downtown.
Oh, yes.
Genuine downtown.
It is so charming.
Yeah.
You know, coming into downtown, especially this time of year, Chris. You know what's happening outside right now.
The azaleas are blooming.
That's right. The azaleas have just started, and it's gorgeous.
I'm sneezing.
Yeah.
And I'm sneezing.
The pollen is coming with it.
It's awful. It's awful, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Definitely walk around before. You know, we tried to hope that the flowers will stay for Flower Town Festival, but they usually always.
This year we have a high likelihood.
I know.
Because, you know, the early bloomers are just blooming now. We might be in full bloom in 2 weeks, and the Flower Town Festival's 3 weeks away.
There's a good opportunity.
There's a great opportunity.
That'd be cool.
We'll still have flowers
rare, but it's
for the
cool.
Flower Town Festival.
It'd be cool. Yeah, but Flower Town Festival's coming up. That's obviously super exciting. The Y puts that on. And they actually have their Shamrock Shuffle this Saturday too. So just gonna go ahead and put that in there as well. The Y's doing great things. We're very thankful for all of our partners here in town. You know, the Y, Somerville Dream, all of our nonprofits. You know, talk about the Somerville Dream. They are doing the project on Short Central.
Yeah, we're partnered with them.
Yeah,
right there on Short Central, bringing a new kind of stage area,
canopy,
covered area. It's going to be great. It's going to kind of book in the far end of Short Central where Tolucci's is. And right there, you're going to have a beautiful place to sit in the shade. More flowers, more landscaping. And again, just elevating the brand and experience for all of our citizens, at the same time creating better opportunities for our businesses to be successful. Yeah. Because, I mean, that's the fabric of our downtown community is our business district, and we have some of the best. And while construction is going on, we did do a Good Morning Somerville down on that far end.
Yep.
You will see construction fencing up, but please know our businesses are open.
They are.
Please go visit them. You know, Collaboration Boutique and Tolucci's and some of those right there on the end. Those are the ones that may have the least amount of foot traffic because of the fencing and the construction. So please make an extra effort to support them during this time.
Yeah, and there's pathways and gateways set up to navigate over there. And that's in the Good Morning Somerville. We walked it, but it's really easy. You get over there, you'll see it.
That's right.
They're all open. So definitely support our small businesses. We're huge on that. So, you're about 2 years into mayor, right?
I just finished 2 years, so I'm entering my third year of a 4-year term. So,
how do you feel it's going?
You know, Chris, there are so many things that we've been able to accomplish. I feel really good about that. However, there's a lot of stuff to do. And a lot of the projects and initiatives take a great deal of time. Yeah. You know, one of the projects that I was most excited about getting accomplished over the course of these 4 years was I really want to find an opportunity to help North Main Street congestion by getting the Berlin-Myers traffic that's going to I-26 on the north end of town
Yep.
to connect to I-26 more directly so that those cars don't have to get on that short segment of North Main Street from Berlin-Myers to I-26.
Yeah.
That's almost like 30,000 cars a day, I believe, that are going there and getting on I-26. If we can find those opportunities, well, there's a current study underway through the Council of Governments. It has about $600,000 of funding that's not coming from the town that's supporting it, which is great. That study is looking at ways to make that corridor more efficient, including identifying ways to take any amount of traffic off, do intersection improvements, and improve light coordination and signal light timings. With that study underway, we have met with Berkeley County leadership, and they are supportive of working with us as this Berlin-Myers connection to I-26 is identified as a standalone project.
Yeah.
They look to support us with their transportation sales tax if we get the project shovel ready. So this takes so long to get underway, but we've identified funding. We have a study underway. It's a real project in concept, and we have partners that are going to help us fund it. So we put a lot of things in place, but as you know, with Berlin-Myers, it opened last year, but that was on the 2004 sales tax referendum from Dorchester County's transportation sales tax.
Yeah.
That took over 20 years.
Yeah.
Now, this one's not going to take over 20 years.
No.
We're leaning forward, we're working hard, and we've engaged our partners. But just know this, that's something that's on the horizon that we're working extremely hard towards, and it takes time, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you hear it, I hear it. The biggest thing is traffic.
Yes.
And I think that's something our listeners or watchers are going to be really happy to hear is leadership and elected officials are looking at ways to mitigate that, to fix the traffic problem.
Right.
We can't stop the growth that's happening in our region.
Mm-mm.
It's too popular. There's great businesses here. We have incredible restaurants. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
We would want. We have the most. Obviously, people are coming to Somerville. We got the best food in Somerville, right?
We have the best food and the best shopping.
Yeah.
I put us against anywhere in the Low Country or in the state.
Why deal with downtown Charleston when you can get the same food and
100%?
I mean, genuinely. I mean, Halls.
Yeah.
There's a Halls in Nexton, but anyways, it's we have some incredible things happening in our area, and with that growth and looking at that traffic and understanding different ways that we can mitigate that is huge, because it takes creativity. It takes creativity. It creates and it takes partnership. And I want to talk on that for a second.
Before you go too far,
go ahead.
Hold that.
I'm pausing.
Put a stitch in it.
All right.
Because you said a couple things I want to just piggyback off of.
Okay.
One, the growth going on around us, it is real.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, the town of Somerville is about 55,000 people. The Somerville postal address is about 250,000 people.
Yeah.
Okay. And the areas outside of the town are growing at a rate that is twice what's growing inside of the town.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we actually have direct control over is growing at a half the pace of what's growing around us, and all of that still affects us. So to your point, we do have to be creative and we have to think differently. And being able to have work opportunities for our community members so that they don't have to hop on I-26 or don't have to hop on Dorchester Road or 61, creating those opportunities for them to work closer to home is a way to kind of solve the traffic problem to a small degree. Having those opportunities. The redevelopment at 500 North Main, the mixed-use redevelopment at Interfor, the annexation we've been discussing, as well as some of the opportunities that have been happening in Nexton are creating options for our citizens to have the high-paying jobs that they want closer to home so that they don't have to waste hours of their day in traffic. And hopefully we can continue to build off that while we're still facing and tackling the transportation challenges.
Yeah.
The road projects, doing those things still is important. But we also have to do other things like create opportunities for people to work closer to home. And those two in concert with each other over time, hopefully will provide some much needed relief.
Absolutely. I mean, you're completely right. And you still gave me the pathway to my next question, which is,
I didn't know.
yeah, the stuff like that takes partnership.
It does.
And it takes partnership with the county and with we're in all three counties. But it takes partnership with the counties and with the state as well. And one thing from just my perspective that I've seen is our growth in relationship with our partners, with the county, the state, and everything. And that has been really exciting. I know it's something that all of our council has been huge on, and our leadership here has been huge on, is building those relationships and building those partnerships. Can you just touch a little bit on the importance of that? Obviously, it's important, but it really has been a priority of yours.
Yes.
And you have been vocal about that. But it's also been a priority for staff members as well, and all the other council members. Why is that so important? Just digging into that a little bit.
Yeah, well, Chris, you spoke about the fact that we are in 3 counties.
Yeah.
Okay. And our region as a whole is experiencing the same challenges that we feel we're experiencing in Somerville. The solutions to these challenges are going to take all of us working together.
Yep.
Period. Now, does that mean we're going to agree on everything? No. I say this all the time. My wife and I have been married for over 20 years. We don't agree on anything, everything. And we live together, and we raise a family together, and we're still married. So I use that as an example that our partnerships don't mean that we think the same way or we have the same approach to things, but our partnerships are extraordinarily important for us to be able to deliver and meet the needs of our citizens, because our citizens in town are also citizens of Berkeley County if they live in Berkeley County. They're citizens of Dorchester County. They're voters and citizens in Charleston County.
Yeah.
And if we don't work together with those county council members and county leadership, for instance, Supervisor Cribb is a great friend and a great leader. He and 2 of his council members, no, actually 3 of his council members came to a community outreach session that we had at Rollins Edwards Community Center. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
Our Dorchester County partners on council, they actually came and participated in the vision planning process, which is huge. Council members from Charleston County, Councilman Boykin is now the chair. We work with them on the CHATS study group, Charleston Transportation Study Group for the Metropolitan Planning Organization, as well as the Council of Governments. And to get things approved that we need approved, we need their votes and their support of those initiatives as well. Without partnerships, and if we try to isolate ourselves from the region, we are going to fall farther behind.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean we win every time, because that's not how partnerships work. But we are going to advocate and build relationships and trust with these partners so that we can maximize what we get for our citizens in return every single day. And that's something I am committed to, Chris.
Yeah, and I think it's easy to be seen just with the things that have been happening too. For me, for example, like, it's important for me to have a partnership and relationship with other PIOs in the area. Even, you look at Mount Pleasant and Folly Beach, and folks that I never really ever have to deal with because maybe some Somervillians are traveling there for work, but that's about it, right? But having a good relationship with them and feeding off each other and supporting each other, it's the same thing when it comes to local governments or anything like that. And you never know when we'll need, support. And when you look at, the Charleston County, for example, they have a ton of businesses in that county, right? Well, a lot of their employees, that's where they live.
That's right.
They live here in Somerville. So obviously Charleston County has to take, Somerville into consideration in a lot of the decisions that they make. And so that partnership's huge. I've seen a huge growth of it just in my time here at the town. And I think that's really good because it's only going to improve our community. It's only going to improve our infrastructure and our traffic. I mean, it digs in deep when you really think about it. Just having good relationships because we're all team, Low Country at the end of the day, right?
We need to be.
We have to be.
We operate as a region. Something that's extremely important that's coming up. If you are or are connected to Charleston County, one of the things that we need to advocate for as Somervillians is the county to continue their half-penny transportation sales tax that was started in 2004. That half penny is getting voted on this year to be extended and continued in Charleston County. They had the 2004 half penny that is now coming to the end. That's the half penny they're looking to continue. Their citizens voted in 2016, I believe, for the second half penny to be added. That's still in play, but we need to continue the first half penny in Charleston County because that's going to generate over $4 billion for transportation infrastructure improvements, for mass transit as mass transit continues to grow for opportunities, and to preserve green space, which is vitally important.
Yeah.
What we love about the Low Country needs to be preserved while we intelligently plan for the future.
Exactly.
And so I would encourage you, the Dorchester County has a full penny transportation sales tax program with green space features in it. Berkeley County has a full penny transportation sales tax with green space components in it. Charleston County needs to continue this half penny so that they're still at a full penny contributing, so that all of us working together can solve the challenges of our region in unison.
100%. And when traffic is, if there's a huge, let's just say, for example, one of the bridges, I think it was 2017, 2018, the Wando Bridge shut down for a few months. You best believe that affects traffic up here too. Okay.
Absolutely.
Like it affects when something comes down and that's not even near us.
Yeah.
It affects traffic up here because we're all interconnected. And so I agree. I think it's important that we look into that, but also stay involved in your neighboring local governments as well. And they might not affect you as much as like us, as the town, if you live in the town, but keep involved, keep educated. I'm always for that.
Stay engaged.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this podcast, Mr. Mayor, last time we had this conversation and you brought up Interfor, something you're very excited about. And I know you kind of touched base on some things you're excited about, but is there anything else you're super excited about as we continue through 2026 that we haven't touched base on yet?
We talk about this all the time, Chris, and the greatest asset in the town of Somerville are the people who live, work, and play here. And I'm probably most excited. I had a conversation with someone who moved from the north, and back in the day, people were like, oh, they moved in from the north. But I will tell you, when I was speaking with her, she was talking about how she fell in love with Hutchinson Square and how she fell in love with our people. And I'm excited about the fact that while Somerville has grown, our people are still the hospitable people.
They are.
The people who welcome others, who watch out for each other, who, you were referencing our nonprofit community, who take care of each other.
Best nonprofit community, by the way.
We have the best. And if we work for the people. And I couldn't be more proud to work in these regional spaces and represent a community more than right now with the town of Somerville, because it really is the citizens that make this work so special. And together, I believe our future is far brighter.
Absolutely.
Because of who each and every one of you are. And I think the vision plan carrying forward, their expectations have been laid out plainly to council and to our leadership, and we're going to continue to work hard for each and every one of you.
Absolutely. And is there any Any concerns that you have as
Well,
I know plenty, right?
there's always concerns. The world is an uncertain place.
Yeah.
And if there are concerns, it is the balance of trying to create a great, thriving business community so our folks can work closer to home while also taking care of our infrastructure challenges and keeping our folks safe while doing so.
Yeah.
And, these things don't happen overnight.
No.
We have to move the needle incrementally in both directions constantly. And I think the end result is going to be a better quality of life where our kids will have the opportunity to live, work, and play here and raise their families here. But it takes time, and I want everybody to be patient with each other and continue to keep that hospitable charm, because that's what makes Somerville special.
Absolutely. And continue to reach out to us with any questions, concerns, kudos. We love kudos too.
Yeah.
We have incredible staff members. So if you see the hardworking men and women that are working in our streets department and working clean up our parks and working outside, and you just want to give a kudos to them, that goes a long way for them. It goes a long way for our leadership, and we want to hear that as well. But if you have concerns or if you have problems or you're angry about something, we want to hear it. Don't keep it in.
That's right.
Don't keep it in. Bring it to us. Let's have a conversation. We have leadership in place to do that. We have elected officials who are awesome and very communicative. And at the town, I oversee our little forum that we have too. And I'll tell you what, it works. We send it directly to the source, and it works. So we want to hear from you. And so to wrap this up, I haven't asked you this question. In a couple years. It's a couple years, so we're going to refresh it, okay?
Oh, Lord.
So when I first interviewed you on the podcast about 2 years ago, I think it actually was more 2 years ago. It was like 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. I asked you what your top three favorite restaurants were in town. Did those switch?
Chris, you can't do that to me.
I'm doing it to you.
Chris, I think my list is 10 or 15 places now. I can't narrow it down to just one, because on let's just say, hey, on one day I feel like a Cruffin from Coastal Coffee Roasters. On another day, I feel like a bagel sandwich from Odd Duck. I feel like a pastry from Tolucci's. I feel like crab balls and a salad from the Crab Shack. I mean, there are so many different things that I said Crab Shack. Shuck and Shack.
Shuck and Shack.
Today had a lunch meeting at Montrose. I love La Rustica.
So Mayor's very diverse. He goes to all the restaurants.
I love Kersey House. La Chev. I mean, Bexley.
Yeah.
We have a nice beverage at Azalea.
Yeah.
Have Godwin's. If you are hungry or thirsty, or have a desire to go shopping, you need to come to Somerville. It is where things are happening.
And shout out to our business community. They continue to grow and prosper and innovate as they go through different challenges for themselves, right? And we have a very strong business community, and we have incredible business owners, small businesses, even just working outside their homes. I think we could be the home of the next Google or whatever. We have that opportunity. We have such incredibly smart people here. Just look at Kabamata, for example.
Yes.
They just I think their grand opening is this Wednesday. Was it Stillwater? I think.
I was there. Still Wild?
Still Wild?
I think so.
To correct, I'm sorry if we're wrong.
I was there this morning. It is gorgeous inside.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It is a perfect third space for anybody looking to relax.
Yeah.
Maybe do a little work, or maybe have a meeting. Invite your friends over and go over there. Still Wild comes to mind, but yeah, I was there this morning. It was fantastic. And you will love what they did with the place. Yeah,
it does look beautiful. It is weird. Cuppa is gone, though.
It is
weird.
It is.
But we're really excited. I know the business owner specifically talked about just wanting to make it his own, and that's really cool. I like that. I think that everyone deserves to have that opportunity to make something their own and grow on it. And we have, just so many different businesses that are just killing it. And just shout out to all of y'all. And please support your small businesses.
Amen.
Shop here in Somerville, eat here in Somerville. They earn it and they deserve it. That's it, Mr. Mayor. Anything else for the sake of the conversation?
No. Hey, come see us at the Azalea Festival in 3 weeks. Come enjoy the beauty of Somerville. Springtime is such a fun time of year. I just hope each and every one of you enjoy this beautiful place we get to call home.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely want to see you guys around. The podcast is back. We're really excited to have this back. We have a ton of great episodes coming up in the next year. I gave you a sneak peek of the drone and talking about the drone stuff, but we got a lot of great episodes lined up that I'm really excited about. Some guests from the past, but also a ton of new guests. And if you are interested in having a conversation with me, you could just be a community member, you could be a business owner, you could be Berkeley County. I don't care.
Yeah.
Reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation with you, record it, and share it with our community, because our community deserves to, learn more about, our community, our elected officials in a way that's not scripted. Because the mayor did not get a list of questions before this episode. He came in at 2 p.m. and said, "All right, you ready?" I said, "Yeah, let's go." And
it's fun.
It's fun. It's kind of on purpose, but I know him and I can work on that. But still, cruising with the mayor this Friday.
Yes.
That's another great thing that's been awesome. So any ideas that you guys might have on how we can better enhance our communications, or enhance the podcast, or you have an idea for another video series or anything like that, please let us know. We want to serve y'all in the best way we can in forums like this.
Amen.
Okay. That said, thank you guys so much for tuning in, for listening and watching. And we'll be back again probably within the next month for our next episode. So we'll see you next time. Thank you.
See you guys.